We've never talked more openly about therapy, boundaries, and mental health than we do right now. Celebrities mention their therapists in interviews like they're recommending a hot new taco spot. CEOs give entire keynotes about leading with vulnerability, usually while wearing a $1,500 hoodie. Bookstores have entire sections dedicated to healing your inner child, which, let's be honest, mostly just involves buying more expensive candles. By all accounts, we should be living in the golden age of asking for help. And yet, ask a friend to actually help you move a couch, or cover a shift, or just listen for 20 minutes when you're genuinely spiraling, and suddenly it feels like you're requesting a spare kidney and a ride to the airport. Turns out, we've gotten really good at talking about vulnerability in the abstract, and really bad at the part where you look another person in the eye and say, "I am currently a mess, and I need something from you." Here is what's actually happening when you can't bring yourself to ask. It's not just one thing, it's a psychological pileup. Saying, "I'm struggling," requires honesty, but saying, "Can you help me?" requires something much more terrifying. You're risking being an inconvenience. You're risking the no. And there's this weird status game we play, where the person helping stays the competent adult, and the person being helped becomes the needy mess. Psychologists have been studying this for decades. It's the social cost of help-seeking. Asking for help can feel like admitting you've lost the remote to your own life. And that tracks in a culture that treats rugged autonomy like it's a personality trait rather than a fast track to burnout. But here's the part that surprised me. These days, the fear usually isn't that people are cruel. It's that they're just tired. You don't want to be one more notification on someone's overflowing list. Research on suicide risk actually flags this. Feeling like a burden is one of the primary reasons people stop reaching out entirely. Over time, that resistance quietly feeds into this broader epidemic of loneliness. Now, and this is the part worth sitting with, we are usually dead wrong about how unwilling people are to help. There's a series of studies in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology that found people underestimate, by as much as 50%, how likely others are to say yes to a direct request. 50%. We are basically walking around assuming everyone will say no, while everyone is actually waiting to be asked so they can feel useful for once. Both sides are getting it wrong, and the gap just sits there, awkward and empty. Here is where it gets messy. Modern life has trained us to think about help like a bank account. We're scorekeeping. Who owes whom? Who's taken too much? What's fair? Under enough stress, the logic of the marketplace starts leaking into your friendships. Not owing anyone starts to feel like an ethical position. There's a famous study from Israeli daycares that shows how fast this happens. Researchers introduced a small fine for parents who picked up their kids late. Instead of late arrivals going down, they actually increased. The fine turned a social obligation into a transaction. Parents stopped thinking, "I'm making a teacher wait," and started thinking, "I'm paying for 15 minutes of guilt-free childcare." When you start scorekeeping care, you erode the thing that actually holds people together. Belonging requires a different premise, that people are allowed to need things. They are allowed to be temporarily out of balance. The alternative to transaction isn't chaos, it's reciprocity. Not a rigid ledger, but a living relationship where people take turns carrying the heavy stuff. You cover someone's kid pickup today, knowing you can count on them someday. Real friends don't track who texted first or who needed more this year. The point isn't balance in the moment. It's keeping the relationship strong across time. This matters more now because AI is about to offer a very convincing alternative. Chatbots that never get tired, never judge you, and never make you feel like a burden. Frictionless comfort is coming. But here's the thing. We need to need other people. That's not a bug in the human software. That's the core feature. The burden of asking for help isn't a weight that pulls us apart. It's the thread that actually ties us together.